I'm Chris Murray.
And I'm Harry Dearden.
And this is the Flat Track Podcast. Flat Track Podcast brought to you by Firecrest Cricket. Halfway point of the season now, so if you've broke your bat or need new gloves, new pads, etc., then please feel free to speak to Toby at Firecrest and he'll happily help you. We've got a guest this week.
After a while.
It's been a while.
I feel like it's like cricket season full swing. People can't, busy schedules. Like, we've obviously asked people who've got like kids or families, their lads are playing. It's just, cricket season just becomes chaos.
And people working away, etc.
Yeah.
Like that. So, with that in mind, we've got our first umpire, haven't we?
First umpire. I'm excited.
Should we grill him? Can't be mean. He's a friend of the league.
Yeah. He's an avid watcher of the podcast.
Can't say friend of the club, otherwise somebody will say, "Oh, no wonder how he gets any fucking runs."
Yeah. No, an avid watcher of the podcast, which we appreciate.
Yes.
We had this discussion, didn't we, about 3 games into the season. He's not an umpire on yet.
Yeah,
Time has come.
Time has come. Ladies and gentlemen, GMCL Umpire Pete Thew.
Welcome to the podcast.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure. So, start with the usual question. Where did your cricketing journey start?
It started at Bury as a junior at Bury. Went down actually with the lad that lived over the road from us. Didn't really have. I've got parents. My dad hates sport. Full stop. Can't stand it at all. Comes to every game I do.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. My mum loves it. So that was how I got into playing. Started scoring. Got into playing senior cricket probably about 13. Played at Bury junior cricket into senior cricket, then moved up to Edenfield when I was about 25, 26, played there for a bit. Played in the Rib League, really dodgy cup rules in there where if you don't finish on the first day you come back every night.
Yeah.
So played a game that went on for forever till about 9 o'clock. Got home, ex-wife said, "That's it, you're done." So I had 10 years off.
Wow.
Didn't have anything to do with cricket for 10 years. Got divorced. Thought, I'm going back to what I like. Went to watch a game of cricket. Got chatting to a couple of umpires who give me a bit of an insight, whether you want me to dive on, which I don't know. I don't think they're still umpire now, so that's probably not a bad thing. And thought I'll just take up umpiring, maybe get back into playing. And played the next Sunday. Ended up playing for Edenfield the next Sunday because the third team captain said, "You need to get some kit. You're playing next week." So I started off. I club umpired for Edenfield and played club umpired Saturday, umpired Sunday, and then sort of after a few years, Herbie just kept saying, "Look, you need to stop doing it." And to be honest, do you want to umpire Div 6 every week? You playing Div 5, it's not the greatest, is it?
I'm keeping my mouth shut about club umpires.
I was just going to say, and some of the having club umpired with some club umpires, I'd rather not say, and I'm played with some club umpires. It's iffy. So I just thought, right, I'll jump on the panel, and I've been on the Premier panel ever since.
How long was that?
When did the Premier panel start? Probably about 4 years ago. When the GMCL became an ECB Premier League.
It was about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. Just after COVID, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was just after COVID.
It's about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and really enjoy it. I know the old cliche, it's the best seat in the house. Some weeks it's fantastic. Other weeks it's hard work.
Hard work, yeah.
Yeah, it can be. And you get players who don't agree with decisions. Yeah. Somebody sat very close to us, didn't agree with the decision I gave the other week.
Which decision?
Was that Jake's?
No, you weren't batting at that point.
Which one was that?
You were there watching.
Whose was it?
When he was bowling?
No. Never bowls from my end.
No, I just bat.
He
just watches me bat. Then. Oh, which one was that?
When I gave 𝙎𝙬𝙚𝙚𝙬 caught behind. Gave 𝙎𝙬𝙚𝙚𝙚 sweeping caught behind and you went,
"Oh yeah,
oh, Pete, he's not gloved that."
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah.
After having it from Bomber in the first innings.
Yeah.
When I gave it like LB.
I think.
That's never out.
I think like I was saying this, and without officials in sport, there's no sport.
Yeah.
Well, there is, but it won't be very good because like no disrespect to Division 6 cricketers, but that's when you have your club umpires,
You
the
expect
cricket, the standard, because the decisions, like, I would have thought that most good batters or the better batters in Div 5-6 always feel like they're getting stinkers because the other umpire is out to get you because you can win or lose the game.
Yeah.
So without officials, there might be sport, but it wouldn't be very good. So, and I always think this, that I could be the first to be like, oh, come on, what's that about? How's that out? Or how's that not out? But actually, it must be tough because there's always someone happy with your decision and someone who's not happy with your decision for every decision you make, unless it's bold. But even then, some people think there's no ball.
I've
done that. I've done that.
I've had somebody out bowled who's then thrown his bat through changing room wall.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He was out first ball bowled, and literally, obviously, as you go umpires, you go on chat, don't you? So you're keeping an eye on what's going on. He heard a thud and just thought, oh, he walked past the wheelie bin at Shaw. I thought, he just hit the wheelie bin, whatever it is. Came off at the end of the game and he put his bat through changing room wall.
Wow. It's getting bold.
We're getting bold.
I think, the majority of the time there's always someone happy and unhappy with most like decisions. So I feel like you've got to have like thick skin to be an umpire.
As an umpire, you've got to accept that you get pretty much every decision wrong.
Yeah.
That's the way I've sort of learned to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because I gave Jake out. Get out LB. The bowler thinks it's the right decision. Batsman doesn't. If I don't give it, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
So you just have to accept that no one's going to be happy.
He's never had to give me out yet.
He still had a go at me though. He still had a go at me in a game because I didn't call a no ball because they had one less fielder outside in the circle.
On Saturday.
I'm always watching.
On Saturday, Stan's club umpire gave a no ball when Stan were fielding from not having enough people in the ring when they did, and he genuinely like ball got bowled to Aiden and down leg side, and he shouted no ball, and Aiden's turned it round the corner. It's gone for 4. He went no ball. What's that for? Not enough people in the ring. And their keeper went, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. He went, all right, not a no ball. Aiden went, does the 4 still count though?
That's what I mean.
But it's
club like.
I was saying this the other week. Like, I don't envy the job of club umpires, and I'll be perfectly honest. If I ever decide that I want to do it, I know I'm going to stand to be like moaned at. But the one thing you find, like you said then, like thinking those batters think they've got a target against them. I think my dad does not help me in this sense, because when I'm annoyed with a decision I've got, he sends me a message going, targeted, they're against you, and just carries on with it, so that I spend longer here rather than going home.
You got 50 at the weekend if you didn't know.
I know.
Use my bat instead of my pads.
Yeah, I do like, obviously, like having, I think the way like that, because I've seen it at like professional cricket as well. Like, I reckon the season I finished, in my mind, I played the first 4 games, and I reckon in that first 4 games, I had, I'm fairly certain they weren't out. I had at the Oval, I had 2. I got given caught behind down the leg side, I hit my pad, and then I got given out LBW. It hit me on the back hip. I know I'm only small, but it was at the Oval. Not many balls at the stumps. And then get back from the Oval, I'm like, that's just a bit of bad luck. And then literally the first next week, Somerset at home, first innings, Craig Owen bowls an absolute doomsday, nick off to the keeper, and then second innings, Lewis Gregory bowls one, and I don't think it'd been another set. And then I didn't play another game then. So for that next 6 months, I was like against any official in my line was just, unless I just didn't speak to him. Like, I'm quite a chatter on the pitch, like I'll chat on. But for that 6, because I was playing at Gloucester at the time, I just didn't speak to anyone. Any official, I just didn't speak to him. And then I come to sort of a bit of talking to myself and stop being a baby. I was like, they've got it wrong. They've obviously not meant to. They've not come to give me out purposely. I'm just a young, I'm a nobody. But I felt like I was being targeted because everything was being taken away from me. I couldn't control it. Whereas now I'm just kind of like, I can get angry, but at the end I'm just like, it was not meant to. It's just one of them things.
Even at this level though, you give somebody out, and you get them, and they'll come up to you and say, "You've ruined my weekend. You've ruined my weekend."
Yeah.
Because and it's like, well, you can only give what
you see,
what you think. You know what I mean? I was thinking the other day, how much stick did Lucas get for that Clifton game for not getting out for a 0 and everybody else
well, it was all over TikTok.
Well, I put the scoreboard on.
They got nearly 100,000 views on TikTok.
Double check that.
100,000 views on TikTok of saw the shine off the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody put the boy was doing God's work.
Yeah.
He's making sure that he didn't survive so that others thrived and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was
got you nearly, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
The first one he did 107,000 views, and then a couple of weeks later it happened again because you got 50 odd and Wade
got 120.
Yeah, so that one then did 30,000 views. But then when he got some runs in the cup, he got 20,000 views for that. But at first, TikTok declared it as like doesn't go against their community values. So it's as if then TikTok then had an agenda against him.
Yeah.
I was asking him on Thursday whether he'd managed to find the video from his catches at Edgerton.
Yeah, no, he hadn't. The camera was off.
He's still fuming about it, isn't he?
The camera was off. He's
that one
unbelievable.
The one short leg. Because I was at point for that because
we had like side pack, didn't we? Yeah.
Because he was where he was, it was better for me to be the other side. So I got a great view of that.
Unbelievable.
He took that about 6 inch off the floor.
We're trying to even read it. It was hard to get a compliment off. Turned around and was like, "Fucking hell, that was an unbelievable catch." It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I saw 2 grabs at weekend in Division 5 in our game that were fucking unreal. Harry Bradley's took one.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm injured. I'm somehow stood at no.
He got 50 batting and he couldn't run in the field.
No, so I'm somehow stood at point when injured.
What's your back? Back injury.
Back injury.
Is that from carrying second team? Yeah?
No, that's Brett's job. That's why Brett's gone away.
Okay.
And goes to point, and Sam said to Harry, anything either side of Chris you're chasing. Like you're just gonna have to chase anything. And this lad's hit one, and Harry's had to make up a load of ground to his left, dive one-handed, left hand, and it's just somehow stuck. That was incredible. And then their lad who got 70 odd, Pete Dalton's ended up at like extra cover. This lad who's got 70 odds absolutely fucking nailed it. Pete's gone full goalkeeper dive, caught it that way, like full stretch, and somehow managed to then go like that and turn the other way so that the ball didn't hit the ground when he came down. Camera weren't showing it.
Excellent.
No, brilliant. Can't see it. Sorry lads, didn't happen.
Exist.
Didn't happen. They were just 2 regulation ones.
Doesn't exist. So obviously chatting umpiring. So you were chatting before we got on the pod about you're on the panel now, GMCL. But obviously you've got aspirations to go higher. So how's that route looking currently?
They call it a promotion pathway.
Yeah.
I believe it's changed over they've had numerous different ways of doing it. And it's now we're working from M3, which can do any ECB Premier League, towards M2, which is national panel. And then obviously...
Like minor counties.
Yeah, which is what Nigel Stock's gone to this year, Steve Beswick are there. And then obviously the next one is then professional, which is what Crossy's gone to this year.
Yeah.
I believe Crossy's got to do more Saturdays. I don't know. And it's just a case of doing as many games as you can, as many different games as you can. Yeah. So obviously this Saturday I was in the Northern League doing Leyland and Longridge, which I must admit it's identical cricket to what we play. It's 50 overs, 15 overs a ball, everything. The only difference is they can bowl as many over the shoulder deliveries as they like.
Oh really?
Yeah, over the head is still a no ball as it is,
but over the shoulder.
But over shoulder they can bowl 6 and over if they want. That's pretty much the only difference. I think, as we were saying about grounds, obviously before we came on, that's the one thing that obviously I've done Leyland a few times. The tracks, I've been at Northern. You'll have played at a lot of these grounds. The tracks are a lot firmer, a lot harder, aren't they? So you can bowl. If you banged it in halfway down on most, tracks in GMCL.
It won't get about Shinite.
No.
That's why he gives most of his LBs.
They want double bounce. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think. Well, talking of that and the rules, like you just said, the first rule there, they can bowl. So like we play. So I played sub-pro again on Friday for Littleborough, and in the Lancs League T20 is anything down the leg side is wide.
Yeah.
Which the GMCL is profile or is it?
Anything down the leg side.
So
is wide.
profile wide is your body position where you started. If you move across, your wide is still where they would have started, isn't it?
The offside.
Yeah.
If you obviously we've now got the blue line
Yeah,
as the guideline, and if you move across, that blue line moves with you.
But anything it stays, doesn't it? Where you would.
Yeah. Anything down leg is a wide.
So. But yesterday, obviously playing against Cumbria in the semi-final of the 50 over trophy, it's profile wide still. So there's a couple of interesting wides. Like it's a great video of Sam, Pez, our captain, doing the double teapot because he's batting non-striker's end wide, and it like you see where the keeper took it. Probably one the umpire probably did get slightly wrong. And he turns around to me, looks at him, goes, "Is that not wide?" And he goes, gets the double teapot out and just declares it in for about 5 seconds.
When I played at Radcliffe, I'd never played lakeside wides before because the Bolton Association didn't do it. So, but the CLL obviously did. Played in a second team game away at Oldham, and there's a lad who played for us, and he used to bring it in massively. Yeah. And this lad stepped away, and he could see all 3 stumps, and he just followed him, and the ball went underneath his bat, but past leg stump. And even though he'd stepped outside leg stump, the umpire gave it as a leg side wide. He went, "Gone out leg, sorry." Just stood there like that, just going.
Yeah, there's loads. Like you say, there's loads of different rules, and there's always. It must be tough remembering all the rules as an umpire. Like,
I honestly think that all ECB Premier League should play the same rules.
And they should use the same
ball. I was just going to say exactly.
We've had this conversation.
Because
same ball.
Again, did the ECB National Knockout Group Final the other week, Leyland versus Prestwich. And one of the things we had to say at the toss was, obviously, the ECB provide one match ball each.
Yeah.
They provide that.
Yeah.
But then the spare balls, you provide your own. So we had to say that if you lose some, chances are Prestwich are going to play with a different ball.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. Leyland's opener put 3 into nursery and numerous into car park and this, that, and the other. So once I think they had. Obviously, the new one, I think they had a couple of dukes from previous rounds. Then they were on to GMCL ball. Well, completely changed the game. Yeah. Look, obviously, Nico was banned, so they Prestwich played without a pro. But they were even Bradders was like, this is like a big heavy thing in my hand now compared to Duke.
I think so I've never had to change a ball in league cricket until this last year. This last where I've changed. This last 2 weeks where the wickets have been firmer, we've changed both balls. So on Saturday at Denton West, it was a good pitch, hard pitch, and those like the Tiflex balls usually don't swing. Then the lacquer comes off and they start hooping, and then they'll still swing pretty much for the majority of the game, which is fine. I have no problem with that. Offers a bit of for bat and for ball. But this ball stopped swinging after about 12 overs in, and I got hold of the ball, and honestly, it was like an egg. It was like so out of shape. And I said, we had John Mayer and what's he called? Asian umpire, not. Anyway, I said to him, listen, can you look at the ball? Like, I'm not being funny here, but look at the state of that ball. And John was like, I'm not sure it is. And I said, well, have you got a gauge? Let's get the gauge out. John was like, well, so I think it was on like the 13th or 14th over. I said, well, let's check at drinks. I was drinks in 3 overs. Let's just have a check at drink. Anyway, he got a wicket the next over. So John was like, right, we'll check the ball now. He wouldn't even go through. John was pushing on the ball and it wouldn't go through the gauge. And I think it falls in line with you. How can you create the best cricket? And there's always going to be the question, what's the best league around? Well, you can never compare if everyone's using a different ball. Mm-hmm. Every league is different in terms of what they offer. Cheshire League offers great cricket on better grounds. GMCL offers very competitive cricket on probably poorer grounds. Liverpool Comp's probably similar to the Cheshire League. You've got the Northern League, North West Cricket League. They're all good in their own right, but they all use different balls. So like you say, how can you ever have a fair contest in a cup comp like the Lancs Cup or the National Knockout.
I just think that it should be, we're all ECB Premier League, or any that are ECB Premier Leagues, the ECB should be saying, there you go, they're the balls you're going to use.
Yeah.
And I understand there's cost differences, but to me, the ECB are making enough money, they should be subsidising.
Yeah.
Because they don't pay us a lot when we're umpiring games.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I've played with, so the minor counties cricket is a Tiflex.
Yep.
Or an Oxbridge or whatever it is.
Which is what the GMCL is.
It's what the GMCL is, the same brand of ball. And then obviously the Lancs League, when I pro in the Lancs League, it's a Dukes, yeah?
Duke.
And obviously I played first class cricket with Dukes. Then the white ball is always a white kookaburra. There's always that period in the season where you use the red cooker, because there's always that, what ball are we going to use if Duke stop producing? Because it could happen. I don't think it'll ever happen, but it could happen. What ball? So obviously the next ball is the Duke's ball. It's the cooker ball, and it is just chalk and cheese. In terms of you get on a flat one with that red cooker and it does nothing. Whereas and the Duke's ball for me is the best cricket ball around, and I see some people giving it a bit of stick because they've got to change the ball and that test match and stuff like that. Yeah, but they're playing on the firmest pitches in the country against other people who bowl the fastest, who hit the ball the hardest. Every now and again, a ball is going to go out of shape.
Yeah.
Especially if it suddenly bounces off concrete in the stands.
Whereas hit in club cricket, that won't happen because you're not playing on the hardest surfaces against the quickest bowlers or the people who hit the hardest. That's why we're not playing test match cricket.
And that's why one of the things I remember as a kid, I can't remember who it was who used to open the batting for Lancs, but said his job was always to be that in county championship he got pushed up the order to open the batting to make sure that the ball hit the concrete. And that was the reason for it, so that it stopped doing it and they had to change it and stuff like that. Perfect sense. If you're playing a test match and you absolutely whack a load into the crowd, there's bound to be points it hits the concrete and it needs a change. Same with if you're playing out here, you might hit a couple, like obviously Lucas the other night when he smoked that one to win the game, but there's loads.
It's school, didn't it?
Yeah, like there's loads that bounce off that concrete and everything, or wherever you play.
Yeah.
As an umpire, you do check the ball when it comes back.
Yeah.
But you are checking it mainly for as it took a chunk out of the ball and everything. But the GMCL balls, they do the job. But I just think as an ECB thing, and it's not anything against the GMCL or any other leagues, I just think the ECB should be saying this is what
whether it's Duke's ball or a Tiflek or
whichever
ball
they want to go with, it doesn't really matter. You just as you said, Harry, you want to be going into these other competitions, the national knockout, the Lancs knockout. You want to be going in having played with that cricket ball
and knowing what it's going to do. It's like we've had some balls this season, like our boxer balls that you pick up at the start of the year and you get sent or whatever. And Billy always says to me, "You choose the ball." Me and a couple of teams, me and usually Richard choose the ball. And we've had two. There's two in our box still, where the lacquer is already coming off. Like the GMCL in print, it's not there. And like you put the balls side by side, and I don't know how much they're paying for these balls. I don't get involved in the finances and stuff. But it was last week. Did we play at home last week? Yeah, Edgeworth last week. And I was looking at the balls, and there was one ball, and the seam was about that wide, and there was another ball, and the seam was about that wide. And I was like, how can it be so different? And you're paying so much for these balls. How can there be such a range of how much ball? One being so red.
Colours in them
exactly.
Well, you get some that are like a bright red and down to sort of like a burgundy,
like a dark cherry, like dark cherry red.
We played a few years ago against Royton in the twos, and their opening bowler bowled this ball, and I've just bowled me a Yorker, knocked it down, looked, and it had GMCL on both sides and was extremely dark. Chucked the ball back to the keeper's passed it around field, and this next ball went like that, and then it went like that, and it was like so much lacquer on it and everything. And they'd ended up using like the defect balls for the first half of the season as like the brand new balls, so they were just hooping absolutely miles to the point where like a certain member of our second team took one of our balls when we went and played them up at their place. He said, "Go out as the captain and go and hand that to their captain and tell him he's bowling with that today rather than what they were already bowling with. It was double stamps, like GMCL one side the wrong way and GMCL the right way. Fuck me, it went absolutely miles.
Yeah, there is, there's a lot to be said, like you say, it's because it just makes, for me, like you say, use a better ball, it makes for better cricket.
Yeah, I think from, like I say, umpiring this season, I think the GMCL is a lot closer than it has been.
Yeah.
In the past few years, you've always known you're going to get Edgeworth, Rowbury, and maybe a couple of others, Prestwich, are going to be there and thereabouts, and everybody else is like trying to get in there, aren't they? This year, there's probably 6 or 7. When you look,
Brock's are top. We're looking Edgeworth for second, Prestwich third. Rowbury third, Prestwich fourth, us fifth, Horwich sixth, and Royton are sneaking back on now. They're only a game winner 2 off.
Well, when I did Clifton against you guys, having done them first week of the season, I thought they're really going to struggle.
Yeah,
and apart from Shaw, everybody else,
Edgerton beat Edgeworth on that.
Exactly, but apart from Shaw, pretty much all the other 11 could beat anybody.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that you've got a good standard this year where everybody's competitive. You want to give them something to play with it. You know what I mean? Give them the right ball and say
100%. Because I think, that's another question. So, when captains do match reports, do you find out what's been said on their match reports?
No.
And then do you report back about the grounds? Do you get the chance to do that?
Yes. Yeah. So the captains do the reports at the end of the game. They are meant to do the reports at the end of the game. Let's put it that way. And there are penalties if they don't.
Yeah.
We don't. All the scores go to Mick Holden, and he collates all the scores. And at the end of the season, you get your average.
Yeah.
I think you get marks at 25. I think.
Yeah.
For presentation, decision making, very different things, and you get that at the end of the season. But you never get sort of feedback like you kept getting it wrong position for run-outs, or he was too long giving decisions, or you know what I mean. You don't get that kind of, and I would like that feedback because
it's a question I was going to ask. Would you prefer that feedback? Sure, that feedback helps you as long as it's not
silly.
ridiculous.
I don't want someone to say Woodbank have said that you did this, you did that, you know what I mean? Because you don't want it in the back of your mind. Well, they said this last time, so off you pop, so out you go. You know what I mean? So I don't want to know who said it, but that feedback.
It could be like every month where something the same might keep cropping up, but if you're not telling you might not know about it.
You know what I mean? I'm quite sad that I always do my own personal report on myself. Things I think I've done well, things I need to work on, just because that's what I'm trying to do. But I do feel like we should get something back, because I was a captain, and I know that, fair enough, we never lost because the players weren't good enough, or the other team were better. We lost because the umpires cheated. That was always my philosophy on it. And so I get why, you know what I mean. Now I understand why players, and that's why I maybe have a little bit of tolerance that if someone, you know, because Edgerton, when I gave Jake out, and he wasn't happy. Yeah,
he wasn't happy.
And I accept that, because if he'd have waltzed off dancing away, as a captain, I'd have been like, hold up, no, you should be annoyed that you're out. So I can deal with that, and for me, he didn't cross any line. Edgerton are like, it's a level 1, that level. Well, no, it's not.
That's what annoys me now. Is that teams go, teams are like, you've seen that level 1. It's like,
and this is
grassing on, snitching on people.
Ingers used to be worse for that.
It's all like footballers with waving yellow card around. You know what I mean? I'll do my job. You do your job.
There should be a fine now. -5 runs if you start asking for level 1s on the cricket pitch for the players.
Like I say, we get things wrong. You get things wrong, don't you? You play a bad shot. It's you know what I mean. But I do feel like that feedback
would help.
But then obviously, going back to your other bit, at the end of the game we have to do a report on the ground. And also on both teams. It's mainly on the captains. It's not so much the teams as a whole. Or
if there's any major incidents or something like that.
So is the grass cut
Yeah.
at the boundary mark? Now, one thing I do have a thing with, and again it's me, old school, but a lot of clubs have gone to a rope,
Yeah.
and your ground is actually a good example, that there are parts of your ground, you can't see that rope,
Yeah.
but there's no flags.
No, there is flags. We have flags.
But very rarely out.
They're always
I remember
out.
coming here
Yeah.
last season, and Dovey texted me on the Friday night before the first game of the season, have you got any bails? Because we've no bails. then I get here in the morning, he said, well, guy's just gone to, he's just gone to Remeda, because we've lost the 30-yard circle markers and boundary flags.
Yeah, they got thrown out of the bonfire.
Yeah, they got thrown out in bonfire.
Either got thrown on the bonfire or out of the bonfire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
do remember that actually. Yeah, I do remember that last
But
year.
there
Yeah.
are a lot of grounds, and mine's one of them, where we put a rope out,
Yeah.
don't put flags out.
Yeah.
And like I said, there are grounds, and we've
Yeah.
all played on them, where you can't see where that rope disappears. Because I did comment as I was walking around on Thursday night, when you go to that far side, that
That it
rope,
falls away.
but
Yeah.
it's also buried in the grass because it's not been moved to cut the
Yeah.
outfield. So, you know what I mean? It's not easy being a groundsman, I
Yeah.
get that. And you do need the players to help you by moving the rope,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But I do think that all boundaries should have rope and flags.
Yeah.
I just think they should, because it keeps helps keep the rope in the right place.
Yeah.
If you go sliding and move the rope
Yeah.
a few meters,
I always kick it out me when I'm fielding on boundary.
Well, you're never
Give
going to
myself-
slide, are you?
No, I always give it a couple.
Neither of us.
No.
Neither of
No,
us.
I actually
I
did on
didn't-
I did
I
on
didn't.
Thursday night. Actually, I dived for one at deep square leg. Stopped
Did
it.
you trip over?
No, I full length dived. I hurt. You fucking hurt.
Oh, was that
It's
why
like
you was that
shoulder.
why you had your pant leg up and everything when you were stood out there?
Probably, yeah.
Walking around, they're just like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah, so like I say, it's about the ground. You know, do you have a bell? Do you have a clock? Do you have walkie-talkies? All those kind of things. Well,
It's serious, man.
I didn't realise you needed walkie-talkies.
yes, a lot of. I wasn't the umpires that are probably higher up might have their own. I have my own,
Yeah.
and again, if you're umpiring here, you don't need them unless it's a T20 and you can't hear
Yeah.
over bloody music.
Yeah.
But during a game,
Peter Hamer's shite music.
yeah. If you're umpiring here, you can shout at scorers, they can hear you, you know what I mean? But you are meant to have
Yeah.
walkie-talkies for the communication. And it's things like that, and then it's how's the captain handled his team,
Yeah.
all that kind of thing. Was the club open early enough? Did you get paid on time?
Yeah.
Because again, we're meant to get paid at the toss.
Yeah.
That is when you're meant to get paid. Well, I'm not a stickler for that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go in after the game, because I
Yeah.
think after the game, you know,
Yeah.
there's going to be some teams who aren't happy because
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
5-3 was off. Yeah, 5-3 off. Give me cash.
Yeah. So to me, as long as if you get paid before at like tea, and again, we played long enough that a lot of the time you're collecting the tea money as the day's
Yeah.
going on, aren't you? So some clubs do come with it.
Yeah.
And they've got it in a paper envelope and they give it to you. But a lot of the time,
That
it's
brown one.
yeah,
With a bit extra in.
Yeah.
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 But
you just check that.
Yeah.
yeah, that's you do. You mark the ground, and that's hopefully the idea. I know they've then been round, haven't they, this year, the league, and they've
Gold, silver, bronze in
yeah,
it. Yeah.
with a view, you know, what I mean, which they want to get the standard of the ground up, leads back to balls and things like that. You know, what I mean, if we're going to improve the grounds, let's improve the stuff you're playing with.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I suppose like umpires have their nuances or their pet hates, and cricketers, obviously players like you will have done when you played, have your pet hates. I think I tend to agree with you. Like, is when I turn up to a ground, it was Walsall the other Thursday night, and they had the 30-yard circle out, and they'd obviously not had a tape measure, because the 30-yard circle made off was about 40 yards back, and then at a point it was about 23 yards in. And it's, you say, you're right, you're trying to do things properly, and obviously the league are trying to get it right by, you know, asking you to do that report. And it's mental how many people, how big's the 30-yard circle? Well, the clue's in what it says.
Yeah.
How big is it? Someone was like, was it 90 foot? Someone said the other, 30 yards. 100, well, whatever, however many centimetres.
27 metres or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Because I did ours on Saturday,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, ours on Saturday, and Sam just went, it's 27 metres or this, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay. But
It's more when you get to clubs. Edenfield used to have it. We used to have a rope to do it, and there was a knot at 30 yards, and then over time there becomes a few other knots, and it's like, well, which knot is it?
Which knot is
and
it?
you just end up with.
I think I remember one game I played here in the ones when I think it was when Bomber was still here. Somebody had actually driven round on the tractor and done the 30-yard circle in paint so that then they knew where to put them all down, and it was just like...
Do that in Oz.
Yeah, like, that's
Australia,
brilliant.
the 30-yard circle is painted. I have a brilliant one. I know a pal of mine plays in the Cheshire League. No, I won't name the club, but they had a new groundsman, and the groundsman actually wasn't... He was a groundsman, but he'd never played... He was a landscape gardener, he got to do the ground, and he put the 30-yard circle out in boundary markers. So can you imagine turning up, looking at the ground, being like 30 yards all the way around?
It's a bit like playing at Glodick, because boundary's only 30 yards.
Oh, Hayside, sorry, Barney.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is God's honest truth. That they turned up and the 30-yard circle was marked with boundary markers.
Going back to this one thing I've been thinking, going back to umpires in Div 6 and the lower end of it, do you think that club umpires, rather than, shall we say, Woodbank having a club umpire who umpires Woodbank...
You're about to say exactly what I've been saying all season.
But having a, shall we say, a club umpire pool. So you might only umpire Div 6, but instead of doing a Woodbank thing... Because I know from when I did it, you get your own team who go, oh, come on, Pete, that's definitely out. And you subconsciously, you are thinking... Well, I don't want everyone to think I'm being biased.
You don't want everyone to think you're going the other way. But it's like I saw Alan Naylor turn up to Denton West on Saturday. I was like, fucking hell, Al, how have we got you today? And he was like, oh, mate, I'm observing. I was like, fucking thank fuck for that. But not because I think that he's going to cheat. Because I don't. Alan's a great man. I've known him for a long time. But I almost think for his sake, for his own team, like surely you go the other way. If it was me, I would 100% end up going the other way.
That's something that I don't ever feel I did.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to be in that position.
You know that I do Edenfield in the T20s, and I know there's times when they're thinking, if that hadn't have been you umpiring, we'd have probably got that.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered whether, and having done club umpiring myself, I have always wondered, a little pool of club umpires that, because not everyone's going to be willing to go everywhere, and I get that, you know what I mean, because it's not easy, you know what I mean, even for us, you know what I mean, but some weeks you could be at Glossop, you know what I mean, or you could be at Elton, you know what I mean, here, you know what I mean, I'm 15 minutes down the road from here, so anywhere around here is great. But I've often wondered whether that would improve, maybe not improve the standard of umpiring, but improve the standard of behaviour, because players would maybe accept the decisions slightly more.
Improves people's weekends. I feel like every club has to nominate an umpire, right? And I know what you're saying about the travelling, but surely, like you say, to put. Because I think about Bats, our umpire, and our club umpire, and I know he gets some stick, and I know but he does it because no one else really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But surely, I think we're putting him in a tough position here, because if he gets one wrong for Woodbank, everyone's going to be like you said, is he not giving it because it's us? And then if he gets one right, if he gives one that's in our favour, then he's upsetting the away team, and they get calling him a cheat because he's our umpire. Surely, if your club can nominate an umpire, that umpire just nominates another game in the league and not a Woodbank game.
Yeah.
To me, one of the points I have said this year is that they shouldn't, if you're going to do it, they shouldn't do every game of their own club. They should do some.
That's why I was saying
some,
you could say all your whichever Div 5 West.
Yeah.
Div 5 West. So all the clubs within Div 5 West
nominate an umpire.
You nominate your umpires, and even if they just rotate in that division, you know what I mean. So they're not going to grounds they wouldn't normally.
Yeah.
But instead of umpiring Woodbank, they're umpiring somebody else every week rather than, and it just, like I say, just to try and
I think it evens it up.
It evens it up and takes the pressure off that person.
It's like I said.
How old will Bats be?
85, something like that. Right.
and he's getting called a cheating. He got called a cheating.
Something the other way.
CUNT on Saturday off their team.
I did last season.
You're like, what? Like,
Was it by him?
No, it wasn't by
No,
me.
he's been on the pod though.
Who?
And he's now first team captain.
Ban?
No, Alison
No.
Dixon.
Mm.
I didn't know that. So he said first team captain. But
Me and Stuart in the same game.
yeah. But my point is he's like you say. You don't need it. He's 85-year-old.
Yeah.
Give the man a break.
Yeah.
Like, he's obviously not done it. He's not doing it well. I don't know, but he's not doing it purposely.
So that season I was captain was the first time like I'd ever had to deal with him as an umpire. And our first game of the season was in the cup away at Hayside, because it was that year where it rained the first 2 weeks of season and we had to have games later on. First ball of the innings, I've got one that's pitched and just rolled across the floor, hit me on the foot, and he's give it not out. Right now, don't know what he was thinking, etc. But I got called every name under the sun by their lot. But we only had one umpire because Hayside were a few divisions higher, and they thought the league was sending them an umpire. Fine. So he's doing both ends at 80-odd-year-old. So a couple of overs have gone by. I'm on strike to the same lad who's hit me on the foot first ball, and this ball's pitched and jagged back, and my bat's carried on going there, gone off my gloves through to the keeper. Now he can't see it, so I've walked, but he still got called a cheating, this, that and the other, because he didn't stick his finger up straight away, but he couldn't see it. And I was just like, at the end of the game, I said to the lads, I went, he's done both ends, I get it, I was probably out, but let's remember he's 80-odd-year-old, and if without him the game doesn't happen. But then you look at, like, I would generally tend to, I made a decision this year, after some of them that I've had, that I'm not walking for stuff. You can't really walk for an LB unless it's properly shinned you.
I say, then I don't know, the umpires are there to give you out. That is their official's job.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I would
like,
agree with you there.
yeah.
I would.
Having
don't get me
played,
wrong, it is nice.
Yeah.
When certainly, obviously, you're never going to walk for an LB or
Yeah.
I think Ryan near enough did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He ran off.
Bryce Parsons did for Littleborough against Northern when I gave him out.
Yeah.
He even came up to me and told me it was plum as he walked past me.
Yeah.
Which you don't get that very often. But yeah, it is nice if a batsman walks. But I am there to make a decision. Yeah. And I might get it right, I might get it wrong, but I'll give what I think. It's one of those. It's trying to get players to understand that you do make mistakes, and I just accept the decision and walk off, because I'm not changing my mind. If I've given you, you're going.
I wouldn't walk for an LB, and I don't walk when I nick it at keeper. Whatever else I do, because I've nicked them to the keeper before and not been given out.
Yeah, like I say, I tend to if I know you've nicked it to keeper, I won't give it straight away.
Yeah, give you a chance to walk.
I'll give you the opportunity to walk, because I always walk when I played. Yeah. And I got abused for doing it in a cup semi-final. I walked. We wanted something like 20 to win, and I walked. I was on 39 and I walked. We won in the end, but I got a lot of stick from my team for walking. She was like, the umpires, mate. No, because that's how I play. But I wasn't playing first team cricket, and then I know it shouldn't really matter what standard you're playing at, but I do understand that there's a difference between playing first team cricket, certainly Prem League cricket, to play Div 5, Div 6. You know what I mean? It matters the same to everybody, and it's even like the other week I did a third team cup game, and I still do. I umpire that in exactly the same way as I would do stood out there, because everyone deserves to have the same standard of umpiring.
Of course I do,
and that's why I'm thinking of ways to try and get the umpiring standard up. At the like I say, I've done it, and I know Edenfield, we've got a couple of guys who do it, and they probably don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But because you've got to provide one, they're doing it, and it is hard work. As you said before, you played 4 games this weekend?
Yeah.
I've umpired 3-4 games in 5 days. It's not easy, especially this week when it's been baking hot. You stood out there. It's not the easiest. You're the only, more often than not, you're the only one on the field for every over of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
99% of the time, I would suggest probably that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless Lucas is opening the batting, there's a chance
Yeah.
you
yeah.
might be in
Yeah,
straight away.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So-
yeah. But even then, it's still not. It's still 0.1, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the thing that as players, when I was a player, all you want is consistency.
Yeah.
I was a big advocate for getting the wide lines in,
Yeah.
because I think anything that helps umpires and therefore helps the players, because if you know that if it pitches wide that blue line, it's a wide.
Ryan Wilkes makes me laugh because he bowls a ball and say it gets given wide, and he turns around, looks at us, and if we nod, he goes, looks at us, and we go nod as if it's wide. He goes, sorry, Umps, and then walks back. There was one time, and we went, and he's like, he's fucking steam coming out of his ears then.
Well, when I was here
Yeah.
in your game, I've got Herbie umpiring with me,
Yeah.
who's like head of Saturday umpiring and this, that, and the other, and he said, I'll umpire with you this season, I'll give you the benefit of my experience, but all this. And you've got 300 and plenty on the board. The chances of you losing are beyond remote.
Yeah.
But Ryan gets taken off, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And straight away it's fucking hell.
Yeah.
Every other word's a swear. I'm thinking, Ryan, I really don't need this today.
Yeah.
I've got Herbie at the other end, who's in charge. He's one of the developers for what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I really don't need this today. And Herbie looked at me and he went. So I went and had a word with Ryan. I said, look, just go and have a chunter to yourself down at third man. I don't care what you say, just don't say it so that everybody can hear. And to be fair to Ian said, that's exactly what I wanted you to do. Because to me, again, that's half the thing. It's manage the players rather than punish the players.
Yeah.
There's still a point where it becomes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I say, when Ali got me that last season, that's
over. That's crosses the line.
You know what I mean? Some umpires would have done you the other week when you had a go at me for giving Wade out.
Yeah.
Some would have said, "Well, hold on, are you disputing my decision?"
Yeah.
Oh no, you just think it wasn't out. I thought it was.
Yeah.
And
We had
without
a
what?
after. I told him he was wrong. He said he was right.
Yeah, and that's it's my decision.
Yeah.
It don't matter what you say to me.
Yeah.
I'm not changing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Yeah.
It does make me laugh though, because like I think I've told this story before about where I got given out LB by an umpire once and he hit me on the hip, and he gave full toss, gave it out, and end of game he went, I've been waiting years to give you out because your dad's a prick. the best second team umpire.
you'd be out every week.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
coming on to that,
I know.
Dasher umpired the twos a few years ago, right? Because we were short of an umpire,
And to be fair, he's been a big advocate for like side
Right,
rides
right.
in the twos.
Right.
I have.
He's
Right,
massively
right.
been.
So first thing he says, if we're playing today and I'm umpiring, it's leg side wides. No matter what, leg side wides. He says, I'm not bothered whether their umpire gives it. I'll have a word with him, but we're playing leg side wides from my end. Ian goes, don't be a dick. No, we're going to play leg side wides, Michael. First ball that went down leg side, gives a wide. Next ball that went down leg side, gives a wide. All you can hear is Ingers just going, he's going to ruin this game!
I must
Fair play
admit,
to him, he did it really well as well.
I must admit, it's one thing I've thought, not through umpiring, just through playing, that you've got first team where you play automatic leg side wides, you've got second team that don't, and if you've got a young lad or girl in your team who wants, you're thinking, you know what, they're going to play first team cricket someday, or you want them to play, and it could be that you're short and oops, oh dear, off you pop, you're going to have to go on the first team this week. You chuck in the ball, and he only has to literally go down like it's a wide. But in second team, he gets away with it. Fair enough. A lot of the time in the first team, a decent bat's going to put it away.
Well,
do you know what I mean? They are going to put it away. But I've always thought, if you want people to get better, it's the same. We didn't at Edenfield. We used to. The first team played with one. I think there about 3 different makes of ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the first team played with one, the second played with another, and the third played with the cheapest one. Now I get that. It's third team cricket. It's a lot of juniors, blah blah blah, and it's over 3 teams becomes a lot of money, doesn't it? So I got that. We've changed couple of years ago to ones and twos play with the same ball.
Yeah.
You know,
Do we
I go
play with 10 more, yeah.
I go back to when I played cricket at Bury, and first team had a new ball every week. The seconds didn't. Seconds had a new ball at home, and then they got last week's first team ball for the away.
Warren Hornby for our second team when we were in Lancs County was the same. We used to get all the first team old balls, but the ECB for that reason they came up with like this ball repair kit, didn't they?
Yes.
They used to be able to put like you basically it was like lacquer back on the ball to make it shiny. Oh my god!
Yeah,
it was that sharp. The first couple of balls where you got it used to cut your hands.
Yeah.
well, that was it because it was Elton that he used to have first team was a new ball every game, and your second team was that you had one at home if you were lucky.
Yes.
You were allowed 6 for a season.
But you had to
go and get it sponsored if you wanted one.
Yep.
But then you got the hand-me-down from the week before. Yeah. And then the first team captain they go, well, we lost 3.
Yeah.
So we've not got one for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm with you on that. I'm a big believer in that, not for the fact of that I want to play against the same ball as what the first team plays as, more so from the junior standpoint of it. You're looking at like young lads trying to make them better.
Everyone complains at the minute about the gulf between second team and first team cricket, but you're never going to close that gap if you're playing different rules.
No.
You're just not.
No, and that is something, like I say, that I've always thought you should have leg side wides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did think, do you shorten the game? Again, you play this every week, don't you?
Said that.
Because
he said that.
Because you are going to get...
Would you play 45 overs?
Play 45. Do you go to 40? Because you could get
the
5.
time, yeah.
Now,
I don't think it's actually been that bad so far.
I don't think it has,
Yeah.
unless you Edenfield first team the other week when we bowled Flowery out for 147, of which 66 were extras, 55 wides.
Wow. Yeah.
So, but I think in second team, it's probably, from what people have told me, it's not actually been
too bad.
It's been a big an issue as we thought it could have been.
But I think that's because people then know they know if it's down the leg side, it's wide.
Yeah.
So you naturally change how you bowl. Like you're going to change where you bowl or try and bowl anyway. And if you can't really control it, then you're probably not going to bowl much anyway.
No.
So, but it teaches people where to bowl.
That's, like I say, that's been for me. Automatic leg side wides in the twos. I just think, again, it's the progression of second to first team cricket, playing with the same ball, because, again, if you've got a ball in the twos that's a load of rubbish, and then you go to first team, they go and have a ball with that, your bowling, it's a different,
and then
does different things,
100%, of course it does.
And then the selfish standpoint of it as a batter from that is you don't know what ball you're facing every week when you come to play against the opposition. Like there's some that you play against where it sounds like a Sports Direct ball that just
I suppose in a way it's the same for batters as it is for bowlers.
Yeah.
That if you're, I don't know whether you're the right example here, Chris, but if you're pushing to play first team cricket as a batter, I know you got 50 at weekend, so you never know.
there might be somebody available.
You know what I mean? But if you're used to facing a crap ball on a Saturday, and then suddenly you've got John Richardson or Nico bowling with a different, completely different ball, you're playing a different game of cricket.
You're already
again,
fighting losing battle, aren't you?
There's always going to be a big jump for yourselves, even anyone who's sort of Div 5, Div 6 to first team cricket, just because there's so many divisions in between. But if you can close that up by
the ball and
the
rules that you're playing to, you just...
It's like this thing of I think I said this to you the other week, was like I played one game for Woodbank ones at the end of a season away at Stand, and then I think I played another game for a couple of years, and my first game was in the Cup. I'd never played against pink ball, and it's hooping round absolute corners, and like Joe Smith-Butler and Luke Williams had taken first 5 for absolutely nothing, and I've never faced a pink ball at this point. And it's like, but with junior cricket this year, because of light, etc. and everything, they're playing with pink balls, which then will obviously help them as they're obviously getting older. It's a smart move because they get slightly used to it as well, especially if they're then playing senior cricket and some young lads are playing ones or
I think as well. I think there's a lot to be said for the same. And obviously you're not going to do your thirds or not your juniors in Lakeside. You can't. You'd be there you'd be there all day. Yeah. But I think one of my other bugbears as well is in our cricket to make our Premier League cricket even better is follow actual proper 50 over rules with the power play.
Yeah.
With the power play, 2 out in the first, because we're making cricket better by, clubs are spending good money on good players. A lot of clubs are doing work on grounds and wickets, and we're trying to slowly make Premier League cricket better. So why not play proper? We're playing proper rules, but play proper rules like I know there's not 2 catches anymore. That's not the rule, but a 10 over power play. And then,
You just have because
you could have
the Lancs knockout and the national knockout have 3.
So they have the 10.
Well,
2,
in the
4,
40
5.
over, it's first 8, 2 out,
4
then,
out.
Then it's 4 out,
Then
and then for the last 8, it's 5 outs.
Yeah.
So
I
you,
think
you
we
get
could
3 power, and in the Lancs knockout, it's exactly the same, but it's 9, and then the last 9.
Because I think we could do that in our cup cricket to start off to see how it goes. Maybe not do it introduce it in the league yet, but the first team league, because again it teaches young kids who might be aspiring to go on and play better cricket, or even young adults who are going on to play better cricket.
I would certainly do it in the cup competition. I certainly would do it in the cup competition. I think in the league that you then start going down the route of do you turn around and go, right, well, it's 50 overs, so it's 10 overs a bowler. Because you've got
that's what the Cheshire League did 3 years ago.
It's all right if you've got a pro like yourself who can bat and bowl. Therefore, it doesn't matter if you only bowl 10 overs because you're going to get. But if you, and I know it changes how clubs go and get a pro, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But if you've got a bowling pro and he can only bowl 10 overs, is it worth having him?
Yeah, well, it's not, is it? Not in the league.
Yeah.
I think the cup is the one to do it. And
I
obviously,
think
you limit the overs, but why not make it like you say? First 9, 2 out, middle, however many, 4 out, and then the last 9, 5 out.
Yeah.
The one thing I would like them to do it where it's coloured kits for cup for all the teams that play on Saturday, but I know it's probably not one.
Again, you're going down that it's expense for clubs, isn't it?
But that's one thing. That's one thing where I think it'd be it just tidy it up a little bit in terms of that because we do the power play 9 overs in the, or is it 9 or 10 overs in the 2s as well. So it's like, but but you just. There's a few things that tidy up with it.
I suppose you could ask everybody.
Yeah.
And people will always have, I think we should do this, or
Nominate a batter to bat twice.
Nominate a batter.
Rather than having 11 batters, you can nominate someone to bat twice, but that batter can only bat twice a season.
That cheeky average boost.
Wonder
who that'll be.
Harry's batting twice if I'm
100%.
I've snicked off and walked there. I'm going to come back in and do that.
I think that I generally think, right, I know everyone gives like the 100 a load of grief, and it deserves some of it. It does. Some of it has brought some good stuff into the game. I think especially into the professional game. But I do think like cup competitions. I think now because everyone's playing coloured kit or the first team cups. I think you can. Not throw in like that's a ridiculous rule what I said, but just some different, mix it up a little bit. People like to just little bits of change here and there.
The group that I'm umpiring for the T20, a lot of clubs, even when we did your game when I filled in early on in the season, there's clubs who aren't that bothered about playing in it.
Yeah.
But I wondered whether it's because it's so long.
Yeah.
Do you just go right? That's that group of 4. We're going to play on one day on one ground, and you get that.
Well, I've said that.
And that's it. Then it's done.
I've said.
And the winner from each group or however, that's your quarterfinals.
I said your 3 closest teams, or geographically, go to a ground the first bank holiday Sunday.
You probably have to make it 3. You take
3 games because you go 3, and then say you go your 3 teams. However you want to do it, the winner, the one with the most points in that, goes into, and if one team's 1-1, however they would work out, goes off 6, is it, or net run rate, whatever, and then maybe 2 Fridays later you play a winner from other closest group, the winner of that, goes to quarter, and then you have your finals day. 4 rounds, done.
Yeah, I just think because different like I came umpired one here and I came on Thursday night and it's round.
Yeah, we had the Bury. Yeah, it's packed.
So fair enough, you make good money out of that. We played Bury first game, packed. Then you play Cheetham Hill, nobody on.
Yeah.
We've got Elton tomorrow night. You know what I mean?
The weather's not meant to be great, is it?
No, the weather's not meant to be great, but if you can get people down, then great. But if you're not, it's not worth it. Yeah. And that's again,
you never get the thing is you never get your best side out because people work. We're lucky, we pretty much do, but a lot of teams don't because of work and commitments and not wanting to play because, like you say, it's Thursday, Saturday. However, I think the other problem is there's so much cricket at the start of the year, it puts people off playing later in the year. You got, especially if you're a Premier League, and I know I'm biased towards, but if you're talking, you're the top 5-6 teams in whatever you might have. League Cup, Saturday cricket, League Cup, National Knockout, Lancs Cup, T20. 5 comps there,
well,
and if you've got lads,
Norwich, didn't it? They had to pull out of one because they'd done well in a few, and then suddenly it's like, oh, we can't play them all. And
then if you've got lads like we have at the minute, a couple of us who are trying to play minor counties cricket, and there's other lads around who are trying that, they've got that cricket that clashes, and there's young lads trying to make their way in the game who might choose to play that over that, and they get grief from. Actually, they're only trying to be better cricketers.
Yeah.
They're only trying to be better cricketers.
I miss those T20 days, or it used to be just do it on a Sunday. Just do it like that.
Well, I played obviously the Lancs League, and I remember watching my dad in the Lancs League T20 that you'll remember when Edenfield were in Azzy's group.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
And it was Azzy, Rottenstall, Ramy, Bay Cup, maybe.
Not sure whether
No
Bay
Cup, but it was definitely like them teams. And I remember like going on and being at Azzy at Bentgate, and there was loads on, like unbelievable. Couldn't move. Friday nights, couldn't move. And I think since then the society's changed. People don't want to play too much cricket, but the club made so much money. And there were such good evenings, and I think and I know why some clubs do it on Thursdays because junior training makes them a lot of money, more than what a T20 would. But for us, it wouldn't matter here. We'd get more people on, I think, for a T20 on a Friday night than we would on a Thursday. But it's like for this Friday night, I think they're cancelling junior training because we've got a quarter-final to play.
Yeah, you're away at Royton.
They're away at Royton, so everyone's going watching, which is amazing. But for 3 other weeks, why don't you just do the junior training on a Thursday night or whatever and play T20 on Friday, or just do it like some of the clubs, you do it 5 till 6. We do a short session.
We play on a Tuesday night. Our home fixture is Tuesday nights because you struggle to get players that can say, well, I can play Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Get that, shall we say, the permission to play Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whereas Tuesday, you'd be out Tuesday night because you'd be at training.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get, but then trying to get people to come up to the club on a Tuesday night
and watch, it's harder.
Whereas
on a Friday,
especially trying to get up that lane.
Whereas on Friday night,
exactly.
Whereas on a Friday night, you might have people from the village wanting to go up and watch it for a bite because it's Friday night.
And that's, like I say, there are things I think the GMCL could look at to improve it.
Definitely. I spoke with Guy about it, and he in a brief conversation we did sort of say we do need to have a look at it, and how we do that is open to ideas, which I think is good. The league has been open to ideas, and I think that's the main thing. They're open to trying to make it better, and I
think that's the thing. It's the league need to listen to the people who play in it, not so much the chairman of the club or the treasurer from a club or whatever. It needs to be the players, because they're the ones who are actually doing it. Chairman's always going to go, well, we want to play 3 games over three different nights because that's going to put more money in. But
it needs to be listened to by the people who spend the most time on the field.
Yeah.
And that is us and the umpires. The umpires see it as well.
Yeah.
You see it just as much as we do. Like you say, you have the best seat in the house. You pick up on stuff that we don't see because we're in the game.
Yeah. And I think you're probably right. You do see things, and I've probably noticed a lot more that I think the league could do since I stopped playing.
Yeah.
Because I listen to players, I listen to people who are there watching, and you know what I mean, come up with that say, oh, it's got to be so much better if it were this. You know what I mean? I know there's people who think that all the cup competitions should be 40 overs and not 45.
Yeah,
Just to give that difference between league cricket and
Pro 40, like the old Pro 40.
like the John Player League and all that kind of thing. Showing
When
my
it
age
used
that
to,
I was
when
gonna
you
say,
remember when
show-
it used to be
showing my age
60, 60 overs a side, weren't it, at one point?
Yeah, they were, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? There's varying different things that they could do. I think the league are making big strides forward.
100%.
It's a lot better now than when it started.
Yeah.
I think the standard is better, or completely.
What do you think of the 3 up, 3 down still? I'm think it's been going 10 years now. I know we've introduced a lot of new clubs over, but at some point you're losing, not us, but Prem 2 and below, Prem 2, Championship, Div 1. You lose 6 teams every year. 3 go up, 3 go down. You lose half your league.
I think 2.
2, I think it
I
has
do
to be
think
2.
Funnily enough, I was at Leyland on Saturday and they were saying that they only have 10 in their division. And I think theirs is 2 up and that. But they were saying it's not enough teams, we need to go to 12.
Yeah.
To have 2 up and 2 down, we need to go to 12 really.
The Cheshire League's 12 and that's 2 down.
Yeah.
2 up, 2
Well,
down.
that's it, innit? 12 teams in a league makes, in theory, makes them the perfect amount of Saturdays, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what it was.
yeah,
So you don't have to really have double headers.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, I played in a league where I think one of the CLL leagues was 16 at one point. I think I got up to 18, and then they split it into 2 divisions of 9.
Yeah.
Got a bug on you.
Ugh,
It's gone.
But yeah, and I think like the 3 up, 3 down. Yeah, I get it in terms of we've introduced new teams over the last few years.
Yeah,
etc.
the league,
and there
the
will
league's
always be
huge.
there will always be clubs that want to join or
Yeah.
want to leave, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, it needs to then start to go back to being what it.
Because essentially you could have not a great year but not a bad year, and then with 2 or 3 games left to go, you're mid-table, your pro goes home, you're having to get sub-pros in.
Or you have a couple.
Yeah,
Because
couple
of
of
the,
injuries.
because of the, as we were saying
Yeah.
before, you've got Glossop all the way over there. You've got Edenfield's probably as far that way.
Yeah.
If it's between, for argument's sake, those 2 teams to go up or down, and then it chucks it down in Edenfield,
Yeah, but Glossop get different weather.
you go down because of the weather.
Yeah.
And fair enough, you might still go down no matter what. But if it's 2 teams, it's a little bit more like, well, you've been bad, haven't you?
Yeah.
Do you know
a
what I
little
mean?
bit more easier to take
Yeah.
as
It's
well.
a
eh?
little bit more easy
Like-
to take. Yeah.
I think there'll been 100% clubs who have had a couple of injuries or someone's broke a finger trying to catch them on trying to catch a ball on a Saturday, and then he was their main run scorer, main wicket taker or main spinner, and because he's not playing, they've lost the last 2 or 3 rivaled him with a bit of rain, and they've gone down when 4 weeks before the end of the season they were mid-table.
Yeah.
But because it's 3 and they've probably gone down, they've probably 2 bottom teams who've got hardly any points, and there's probably 4 teams who are all on similar points, and unfortunately they've just finished in that 3rd place, but maybe 10-15 points above the
The same
bottom
as
2.
it in the Championship, is it? That there's about 4 points
Between
separating
first and 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 points between 1st and 8th.
But
Yeah.
you look at that and go,
That's mental.
in theory, one of those teams that could be pushing for winning league could also end up being relegated.
Well,
Yeah,
it happened.
yeah.
It happened when I was at Glossop in 2021 when I was leaving Leicester. We were 3rd, maybe with about 5 weeks to go, or 6 weeks to go. We then lost on a Saturday. We lost a game, and then that week, that same Saturday, our second team didn't play because they couldn't get a team out. There was some sort of do on or stag do. But at that point, a lot of teams obviously COVID around, so they didn't use the COVID excuse. So then we lost another 5 points because we couldn't get a team out. So we'd essentially lost 2 games, although we'd only played 1. So we went from 3rd to like 7th. I then got COVID myself, so I missed a weekend. We lost that. So then I come back with 3 weeks to go, and we're lingering a spot above the relegation within 3 games. We've gone from 3rd to like 9th in the space of 3 weeks, but having lost 4 games because of the -5, we couldn't get a team out. The second team couldn't get a team out. We then won, and then we had to beat Glossop, I think second. Had to beat Woodhouse's second to last game of the season. I think it was, or maybe a bit before. We had to beat them, and we beat them, and I felt for them because they'd had similar, and when we sent them down, pretty much because I had a day out, coming back from York, been on Nick Merr stag do, got in at 4, drove my dad's car to Glossop, played, and went back and got 130 out and 4 for. So I felt so bad for him.
See,
Felt so bad.
Do you think the point system is right in the GMCL?
I don't know, because I don't know if there'll ever be a correct point system in cricket.
No, because
Cheshire League is like, so the Cheshire League they play the win-lose cricket and then they play the time cricket. So the win-lose cricket, you can only get 20 points, but your time cricket, you get 25 points. So in the same season, you have all different point systems, which I think is just ridiculous. I think it's just so much to think about. But then in our league, 5 points for winning and then 1 bonus point. I think there can be maybe a few more incentives there for, trying to get runs batting first, because we've played at home a few games, we've not played on great wickets, right, and we've struggled to get to 100. But for me, there should be incentives there if you can get to 150, 175, 200, but also the wickets on top. So if you get 5 points for a win, but you get to 225, you get 3 batting points, and so you get 8 wickets, you get 7 wickets, you get another 3 points.
Well, I was thinking that because of the Northern League on Saturday, I didn't understand who got what points from the game, because I knew it was win-lose cricket, but and they do it so there's 3 bonus points for bowling, so you get
3.
I think it's a bit like the County Championship. It's 5 wickets, you get 1 point. 7 wickets, you get a second point. All out's a third point. And then batting, it's done on run rate. So if you score at 3 and over, you get a point. 4 and over, you get 2 points. 5 and over, you get 3 points. So you might get 100 all out, but in 20 overs, you get 5 points because you've scored at 5 and over. And just what you've played it, I've umpired it, I've played it as well. You want entertaining cricket. There's nothing worse than someone scoring 300 and then the other team going, we're not going to get there, let's just have a
there's a bit of jeopardy. I do think there's got to be bonus points there. Obviously you have your bonus points if you bat first, don't get bowled out and bowl them out, whatever, less than set, or I don't even know how it works. But I think sometimes teams should be rewarded for bowling their teams out, because for me that's the hardest thing to do in cricket, is bowl a team out. How many times do you see on a Saturday, like us on Saturday, 90 for 6 and we get to 200? How many times do you see someone get a team? We did it against Edgeworth the following week, 120 for 8, they get to 170. They did it to us. How many times do you see teams get a team on the brink and then not bowl, and then that end up getting an extra 50, 60 runs on top?
I'm not sure about all out. I think 9 wickets. Because again, the Clifton game, you got them 9 down, and Ollie Slight and Finn Tester were in, weren't they? And I remember saying to Finn, why don't you just have a swing at it, because you're not going to win from here. And he went, but if we're not out, we just want to be not out.
We had the same at Shaw the following week. We got a 9 down, they just shut up shop.
And it's not entertaining cricket, is it?
And it's like, obviously it used to be a lot worse back in the day when it used to be, winning draws and losing draws.
But that's still, they still have that in the Cheshire League.
But you look at it and go, entertaining cricket. I mean, you had an entertaining game the other week when you were doing the Edgerton game, even though it was low scoring. Because obviously it lost wickets. R2's game the other week, we're chasing 80 odd and do it 7 down. It's crap.
It doesn't need to be 300 versus 300 to be an entertaining game of cricket. But you don't want 300 plays 100 for 3 because the team have gone, well, we're not going to chase that. I did it. When I played at Bury, I was 13 captain, we played Whalley Range, and they scored 300 odd. We had a junior side, so I just said to them, just go and have it as a net. I batted at 4, and I batted 36 overs and got 34 not out. And it was purely because you played win and lose cricket. You could get a losing draw and everything, stop them getting the full points. And I walked off, and no one clapped because they're all bored. It's not the kind of cricket you. That's why I don't know whether you need to bowl them out. I think 9. Because then it allows 10 and 11 to go, well, don't matter if we get out now.
We can.
They're not getting anything more from us getting out. And it also takes a little bit of pressure off the bowling side, thinking, we got to get this.
And it also
going.
means the batting side, if they can say, well, 10, 11, if they're lingering around going at threes, and if we can get a couple of boundaries away, yeah, we get threes, we get an extra point.
Yeah.
I do think there is room for manoeuvre with the points. I don't know if they will, but I do think there should be more incentives for getting. Like, I remember the first year I went to Hyde, we won the league. So again, that point, it was 25 points for a win. That was, you get 250 and bowl them out. But you usually get 7 points before the game had even started if it was a rain. So say you lost an over, you get 7 points because the game had been rain affected, right? We won the league that year. We went onto the field as champions the last game of the year because we got there, delayed start. We only needed 5 points to win the league, and we got 7 points because it was a delayed start.
I must admit that was the worst thing that we ever had.
Yeah.
That 30-minute grace period.
And we had an hour yesterday. We didn't start 46 over a side game yesterday until 12:30.
That half an hour it's a long day anyway, isn't it? It's a long day, and then to go right. Well,
you essentially don't lose overs for an hour, do you?
No.
You've got an hour to play with. It's ridiculous.
I also think we need to be stricter on
Timings.
time, but
Timekeeping.
you know what I mean. I get you're going to lose a ball or two, so that I'm happy with that. You make that up, and the drink. A lot of the cup competitions are like yesterday. Lancs knockout. It's 3 hours to bowl 45 overs. That's including your drinks breaks.
Yeah.
Same with the national knockout. You get 2 hours 40, including your drinks breaks. So it's up to you to drink, not just go or just have.
It annoys
just have 5 minutes.
That is my biggest pet hate, and I let the lads know when we go for a drink. When we're up and about, so we've got a team 5, 6 down, right, and it's drinks, and they go in, and they have a vape, and they go through the phone, and it takes 5 minutes for a drinks break. I'm like, we're giving them a chance to breathe here. We don't want to. We want to get back out there as quick as possible. We want to run through them. It just the momentum goes, and it annoys me. Like on Saturday again, Denton West were 100 for 1 against us, and everyone's going, and I'm like, lads, hurry up! Like, we need to have a chat about what we're going to do next. And they're all just, so I can see just the hot box in the changing rooms. There's that many of them having a vape. And I'm like, you don't need it. We've got a game to win here.
Yeah, I understand that the first 16 overs roughly are always going to be a little bit slow because you've got your seamers on and stuff like that. And then you get a lot of clubs and you'll say, you know what I mean, and they'll go, it's all right, spinners are coming on, that will catch it up. The Lancs League, I think it's done on every hour.
Yeah.
So if you're behind in the first hour, you're losing a point.
Yeah.
And
I think that's maybe a little bit harsh, but I think, you know what I mean, we get 3 hours 10.
Yeah.
Northern League's 3 hours and 8. Lancashire League's 3 hours 7.5.
I was asking.
we were talking about this the other week, just like when we were all sat around, because there were points last year where our game in the twos we were playing at home was finished at 6 o'clock, and we'd be sat in here, and the first team wouldn't be finished till like nearly 8:45 at some point.
Well, that was the Hayside game. That was when we had half hour. We started the Hayside game at stupid o'clock.
Yeah. I just think you start at 12:30, you've got 3 hours 10 minutes to bowl your overs, you should be able to bowl your overs in 3 hours and 10 minutes.
I think basically so say 12:30 starts. So that gives you 3 hours 10. That's 20 to 4. I think the second innings should start at 4:15. Like starts at 4:15, and you have half an hour for tea. So if at quarter to 4 you've not bowled your overs, you get penalised, and they get your overs. That's the way
I thought that's not a bad idea.
That's the way I'd go.
If you're bowling first, you still have to bowl those 50 overs.
Yeah.
You still have to bowl that first lot of 50 because you're the ones at fault. Yeah. But if you've only bowled 48, then they get those extra overs.
Or they either get the run rate, they either start on what their run rate, so they say they're 250 off 48 overs, so they're at 5s, just over 5s. They start with 10 runs.
Yeah.
I think it's just to quicken the pace of play up.
Yeah, because when you go to certain games, again, you're not so bad here because you've got you, Dovey, Xander, that are all going to, and there's other clubs.
Like Dempsey doesn't run it off far, he gets overs quick. Ryan's usually pretty quick.
Edgerton are quick as well, and you've got a few others, but then you've got other clubs that are like, come on.
Yeah.
And you're trying to speed them up.
The other one we had was the cup game last week. I was like, we start at 1 o'clock and we got in for tea and it was like 4:45, and I was like, Dovey, how long do we get for how do we get here? And he's like, oh, we lost a few balls. I was like, we did, but it's not 45 minutes worth of time, surely.
Yeah. And that to me is where we can improve the game again. That's what you've got, and you bought. You know what I mean? You've got, even if you went down the route of going, you've got 3 hours 10 to bowl your overs. You get 5 minutes for a drinks break. 3 hours 15. You get 3 hours 20.
Yeah.
3 hours 20. That gives you 5 minutes for the odd lost ball. So change it and go. You've got 3 hours 20 to bowl your overs, and that's in the entirety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know it's adding an extra 20 minutes onto the game, but you're adding that anyway.
Yeah, yeah. And
so
I think
just say, there you go. That's what you've got. And if you've not done it, the punishment.
And I think the other thing as well is to speed that up is as well that batters have to cross on the ground because teams have that slow tactic of I'll wait here. Like Wilkie does it I don't know why Wilkie does it for us, but he does it and he doesn't. And I'm like, the batters now for that to work have to cross on the field. And if they don't, there's a penalty. Whatever that is, I don't know, but there's some sort of penalty.
But the punishment has got to be.
The
punishment's got to be more as well.
Yeah.
A yellow card.
Yeah.
It's not really a big slap on the wrist, is it? Point deductions.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I said, Langsley, it's a point every time you
miss the 60,
you miss it.
Yeah.
So if you going for title, say, and you bowl slowly in 2 or 3 games, you've lost 3 points, and then you lose the title by.
It's like T20 again. I know we had a drinks break because it was hot, but T20 on Thursday night, we didn't come walk off until 25 to 8. We started at 6 o'clock.
See,
and there wasn't that many lost balls.
That's the only one where I think they should get more.
Yeah.
I think 1 hour 15 is tight.
Yeah, yeah.
It used to be in the obviously in the blast etc. It used to be 1 hour 30 when it started.
I think
it's an hour
and then
15.
and then they filtered it down by a few minutes every year, didn't they, to try and find.
I think an hour and 20 because again you play on a Saturday and you're very rarely going to get a batsman who's playing stupid shots all the time, are you?
No,
so therefore you're not changing the field every ball and this, that and the other. T20 you could have, you know what I mean, when Wade's hitting for 6 over one side and they're having a go at him saying, oh, good batsman go twice, shall we switch it for 6 on the other side, and walks down and goes, you're right, they do.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
I must admit I didn't enjoy that.
I think there's 100%. There is. I think there is, but I do think as well, like in that is just have a fucking load of balls ready and let someone go and look for it.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I think that is that is what you meant to do. To be fair, that is what you meant to do in all the competitions, league as well.
Because you've got there's never ever a fair representation of what balls you've got. So everyone has a brand new one, and then pretty much every other pink ball that someone's got is a dog ball, because the half decent balls have been used or lost for training.
Well, Steve said to me on Saturday, he said, what you should do in a cup game, just as something for me to take forward, when you go out to the toss, ask the captains to bring out the new ball.
Yeah, a spare.
Two spares. One that's maybe 10, 15 overs old, and one that's maybe 30 overs old, and then you can look at them and you can say to the opposition captain, right, that's the match ball.
Yeah.
If we lose a ball in the first 10, 15 overs, that's the one they're going to replace it with. Yeah. If it's later on, that's what we're going to play. Obviously, if you then lose ones again, you go into whatever you've got, but it just speeds it up and it stops players going, oh, that ball's better than that ball, or that ball's softer than that ball. Yeah. That's what we're starting with. Have a word with your captain because we've told him that's what we're going to do.
100%. 100%.
Well, it makes perfect sense to do it that way as well.
Yeah,
It would make it so much fairer.
Yeah,
in terms of what you see.
And it just stops teams coming out like say, there you go, there's a dog ball for you.
Yeah. Try and hit that for 6.
Try and hit that for 6.
Yeah. I've seen that get done. Yeah.
That's what Thingy did. Heaton tried to do. I think it was Wade at 6. He went to field and literally shouted off their lad, "Get the worst ball you can find."
Yeah,
we're only 30 over. We're 30 overs in. You're not going to have a pink ball that's that badly damaged after that time. You're just not, because they're like pebbles. They stay hard. They do stay hard.
The pink balls.
Lacquer comes off them, but they stay hard.
Stay rock hard. Yeah. Right. So we'll finish with favourite cricketing memory. Favourite ground to umpire at.
Yeah. Favourite cricketing memory is actually from playing, taking a hat trick at Wesley.
Nice, Wesley.
Yeah, took a hat trick at Wesley. Still got the ball mounted on a plinth. My dad mounted on a plinth.
That's 2 guests we've got that have had it mounted on a plinth.
Yeah. Favourite ground to umpire?
Got to be here standing at the end watching me.
I don't know. Standing at Edgeworth watching Tom Rogers.
Yeah,
was
that's pretty good,
was
yeah.
good. I don't know. I think Southport on Wednesday was
It's a nice
was
ground,
one.
good cricket ground. Great cricket ground.
Purely because it is a ground that county cricket's played on,
Yeah.
and you're not at the level we're at the moment.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that every day.
Yeah.
So for me at the moment, that's probably the.
It's a pretty good ground. It's a good ground.
Cool. I would say favourite ground at GMCL to umpire at.
Yeah.
Tees are good here.
Yeah.
Oh, let the sponsor know.
Yeah.
Let them know.
Yeah, to be honest, I think a lot of the grounds have got better in the
Yeah,
GMCL.
yeah,
So
yeah.
there's not as the bad grounds that again, club umpiring. It was like you were going to East Lancs Paper Mill and
Yeah.
Totty St John's and stuff like that. Well, you're not anymore. You're going to Edgeworth. Here, you're going to Raw Green and clubs like that. So they're all
Getting
they're
better.
all getting better. They're all good grounds.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. That was
No
brilliant. Thank you for coming on.
Okay.
Cheers, sir. Thank
Cheers.
you very much. I'll let you do Toby now.
We've already done Toby.
No, we do it to end it with no.
All right, sorry. Again, thanks to Toby for sponsoring the podcast. If anyone needs any kit, as Chris said at the start, halfway point in the season, get yourself to Firecrest or get online. I'm sure he'll help you out where he can. He's got some good deals on offer, and I keep mentioning the helmets. The helmets he's got with the club badge, where you can get your own club badge on there. They look pretty cool. So
Decent.
get yourself to Firecrest and get some kit off Toby.
And obviously, if you're watching this, please feel free to like and subscribe. We need to see if we beat the Rosendale Rambler.
Yeah, we have to. We have to by the end of the summer.
Ruin his cricket career
Yeah,
and his YouTube career.
Yeah. So thank you for watching this podcast. As we said, please like and subscribe.
I'm Chris Murray,
And I'm Harry Daden.
this is the Flat Track Podcast.